Steve Klaus here for Team Ego, formerly known as Godlike, for the Ego TCG channel. I'm going to post my deck list and give some more in-depth review than other videos that I was able to do now that I officially have time and I wasn't rushed out of the event, and as well as I'm just finally able to just sit here and explain more in-depth things of my card choices and my matches around the tournament and how it overall went for the day for me. And yeah, so let's get into the deck profile. Sorry, I'm using my iPhone. It's the only thing I really do have to record with, but here goes. I have 3 Blaster, 3 Tempest, 3 Redox, 3 Ducks, 2 Phalanx, 1 Mistatin. No Red Eyes. That card was just not bueno. Not good at all for me. I was sliding it out anyways, most matches, and because I just don't want to get Blader to 0-0 when I bring it out for a tomb, which you'll see in my extra decks later. As well as I just didn't want to draw it. I didn't want it anywhere in my hand, nothing. Plus, if I cut monsters, then the less monsters I have in my deck, the less monsters I draw, usually the better hands are. Sometimes you open awkward hands, but you can usually play out of them even without some monsters in your hand. But you should be able to draw consistently enough with my ratio that I have now. So yeah, I took it out and I didn't miss it. It was actually beneficial the whole tournament. I ran 3 Dragon's Ravine. Sorry if the cards are overlapping, it's just the easiest way to record the video. 3 Upstart Goblin, patchcobin.card. 3 Pot of Greed, Sacred Sword, 7 stars. 2 cards of Consonance, 2 Terraforming, 1 Gold Sark, 1 Book of Moon. I was running 3 of this because it searches out this card, aka the engine of the deck. But sometimes when I was going first, I wanted this, so this. It's hard to see through the camera. And it just worked. It worked out perfectly for me, and it was a blowout most of the games. But if I was not going first, that would be like my first card I would side out. Same with Warning. Most cards, that's what I would do. And if I was going into time, which I don't know why it took for so long, some events, this card. Actually, my round 3, if I would have sided properly, I don't know if I would have lost, but Upstart was a big factor in me losing. Plus, obviously, he had this dumb card, game 3, so it really didn't. I think it was pretty much irrelevant. So yeah, that's my magics. 3 more Pot of Greeds if you draw them in more multiples, aka Reckless Greed. 2 Mirror Force, which I decided to opt to change Friday night with help from my friend Josh Graham. He told me it pretty much does the same thing as Wabaku, except doesn't leave like dumb cards that can't get passed on board, like Crimson Blader or whatever. It gets rid of it, and also Wabaku doesn't stop this card, Return. So I would rather have this card and blow out Return and just get rid of it and then be done with it. So that's why I opted to run Mirror Force. Return, obviously, it's a win condition. I wish most of my opponents that I offered to side out in game 2 in the mirror would just have done it, because then it would have been more fun and a better skill game. Wing Blast over Regeki Break, which I was running Friday night, because this card called Stardust Dragon, right here, is dumb. And I don't want to lose out to that and a lock that I just can't get past because of it. And Dragosack and other cards, it worked out just more beneficial. Obviously the 1 Emptiness, in case I opened it and it was good. And it's also an out to Return, which I didn't play bottomless, and this card can be more crucial and more, I guess, not more better, it puts me in better spots and in better situations when I have it, so it helped. The best card of the weekend, I will say it over and over again, is Castle Dragon Souls. It just promotes so much for my deck. It allows me to not, it's just like, it's like a one-of card that just allows me not to get bladered, and it also helps me search cards out of my deck and combo, so it flows synergistically perfectly with this deck, and I love it. And I probably wouldn't up it anymore because I wouldn't want to draw 2 ever, but it was perfect at 1, and I'll probably keep it in. The main deck, those 40 cards, I wouldn't go over. If you're running 41 with this card, you should just not run Upstart at all. And yeah, but Upstart in this deck's perfect. It just makes it perfect. So yeah, that's the main deck. Side deck is 1 Duty Crow, 3 Misties, 2 Encore, 2 Divine Wrath, 2 Imperial Iron Wall, aka Stardust dot Imperial Iron Wall equals traditional dragons, aka Trigon dragons, to just lose. Pretty much outright, unless they have like the Wing Blast. I think that's like their only out, honestly, Wing Blast. Because if they debris back like Trigon and try to go Black Rose, they just lose out to it. If they go into Itch Fairy Dragon, they have to stall, and then I have to like I have to combo out of it and like pop it or make M7 and return it. So yeah. The 2 Electivires, 2 Maxi, and Terminus. I'll get back to those 5 cards because those are the 5 I'd be changing for officially my next regionals, which is in 2 weeks. 2 Dragossack, 1 Big Eye, 1 M7. Best change, I think, was in my side deck was that and this guy. The reason I added this guy in over which on Friday night I was running 2 Bladers is because it has some cool combos to make Consonants not dead. Allows me to go into this and Stardust by summoning Ducks into Phalanx, Phalanx into Mistoon, Mistoon make back Phalanx, Phalanx bring back Vajra, Vajra make the card, make M7 with the 2 6s, bring back Detach, target Mistoon, make Stardust, and end. That's cool too. Plus, this card, like I said, it gets past cards that it's hard to get past, like Colossus Fighter, Ancient Fairy Dragon, all those cards. It's literally just a black card, Wing Blast, which was really, really useful. Then the Atum, the Gaia Charger, the Colossus Fighter, the Scrap Dragon, the Blader, the Stardust, the 3 Vajranas, Gatorg, and this guy. This guy says if they max you while you have a Ducks and a Phalanx, that you will just not lose to Blader. So that's why I run this card, and it was great. This card was just MVP with this Castle Dragon Souls, because if you keep this on board, you honestly just win with this, because you can just search Ducks that next turn. It doesn't matter if you have Ravine or not. You can protect it over almost any monster they can make. The only thing they can make that can get past it, which is Star Eater, but most of the time they just don't even attack with Star Eater. This, I think it becomes 37, 31, I believe. It might even tie with Star Eater, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not doing the math right now. So yeah, that's my list for the event. But if I would and could change it, my side deck, because these 5 cards are just not good for me. This card is good. This card is pretty good in the 3s for Evil Storms. I didn't play it, and now thinking about it, the other cards I could probably manipulate to make my Evil Storm matchup pretty well. I would probably elect to take these 5 cards out. These 5 Maxi, the Virus, and the Terminus. And I would probably elect to side these instead, which would be the Ref Panels, the Deck Devastation Virus, and this card, which would be Imperial Irewall. I don't know the third one at the current time, just because Stardust and Imperial Irewall just broke versus any other matchup than Dragunity's. This card, I really just don't like it if I'm not going first. But the idea is that if I'm siding an Irewall, I should be going first against Traditional Dragons, and I'm going to be siding out this. So this replaces my draw. If this isn't up, then this should be giving me draws. But if this is up, I should already be winning. So that's the idea of that. Deck Devi, because just hand traps versus this deck are so crucial sometimes, like Swift Scarecrow, Virus, and what's the other card? Maxi, obviously. That card you can just make this deck a glass cannon sometimes. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I would do to the list. Now for my overall games, I played round 1 Blackwings, 2-0'd it. It was relatively simple. Second round Blackwings again, I was pretty happy about that because that means I should probably 2-0 again. Round 3 was my first loss against Dragons. He wins game 1 to return, which is obviously the dumbest card. I win game 2, and then game 3 we go into time, and I just didn't think about it. And thank God I made the misplay. I mean, I wish I wouldn't have lost, but it allowed me to learn and make better promotion of a play because I just forgot to take out upstarts, and it was crucially bad, and I'll admit it, and it was just terrible. Round 4 was actually another Blackwing guy running Summon Limit, which was like the most problem card that I had to deal with all weekend. Round 5, I think it was either round 5 or 6, I played Robbie Boyajian. He was playing Billy's deck, card for card. Game 1, I do everything right. I'm playing. I'm making good plays. I don't think I made any misplays. And then all of a sudden, I go in. I activate return. I try to get Revolver's back rows, and I assume he doesn't have emptiness because he lets me like special a bunch of times. But he saves the return, and good play by him. Game 2, I wombo combo, blow him out. Game 3, I just couldn't get the deck moving. It just wasn't happening for me. So that was round 5. I lost to him. That was my second loss. And then round 6, I believe I played. Oh yeah, round 6. The funny story about this, I lost my deck box, and then someone turned it in. So thank you over and over again for turning in my deck. Without you, I wouldn't have topped, and without you being good Samaritan, I wouldn't have gotten where I was. And then I played Trigon Dragons, and I decimated them because of Iron Wall. He was like, I didn't even expect that card, and it just blew him out with Stardust and Iron Wall games 2. And 1, I just wombo comboed him. Round 7 was, I can't recall. Round 8 was, Dragunity. I opened game 1, I lost, but I opened double Reckless. Game 2, I opened triple Reckless. Game 3, I opened triple Reckless. It's pretty much all you have to say. I just blew him out and sacked him. To you, who I sacked, I mean, to you go. Round 9, I played Infernities. I wombo comboed game 1, and then 2, he bricked and drew all monsters, so I was an auto win. I go into day 2 officially, and I played round 1 of Dragons, another standard Dragons, which I like. I actually love that matchup. That's why I was so sad when I lost in top 8, because I should win. That's why I want to side to third Iron Wall now. So that's what won. I won the game as Iron Wall. I just was able to get past in 10. I think I flipped it. I was able to flip it, but I don't know if it really actually did much. Oh yeah, I flipped it, and he had to stall in game 3 with skill drain, and it just eventually came to a point where it happened. We got into time, and I had to switch a Phalanx to attack mode because Duck's Phalanx was still on board, and I had to crash. And I would have literally not topped if he used Drew Dragon, and he didn't draw Dragon, and I just came back next turn and blew him out. Round 10, really rough match. Game 1, I win. I ruin the dice roll, and I win, which is fantastic, because dice roll in this deck should mean I auto-win game 1 if I draw well, which the way I built the deck, and Josh helped me build the deck, it should do so. So I win game 1. Game 2, he just destroys me. Game 3 was rough. I opened Sword, Cards of Consonance, Space, Maxi, a.k.a. the card I'm never running again, and one other card I can't think of at this point in time. It was something else. Sword, cards. Yeah. Anyways, it didn't matter. My 6th card was Terraforming, and I was able to come out of it and draw into combo and pretty much set up a game where Imperial Iron Wall and just win. And then I go to top 8. I mean, not top 8. Pretty much. The funny story is I get to top 32. The guy literally is like slowest plays of all time. I beat him. Game 1, and we have like 2 minutes left in time. I'm side decking, and trying to figure out, because I know we're about to go in time, so I don't want to make the same mistake I made round 3, and I side out Upstart and like my life cards. And then they say time is called before I finish side decking, and I have 3 minutes to side deck, is what I was told earlier in the round. So I was just making sure I utilize it and not lose in top 32. It's crucial. So I win, and they told me that I just win the match because game 2 didn't start, so I was fine with that. Round top 16. I was supposed to play Assault mode, but apparently, I don't know what happened, something with the sleeves, and so I get a bye. I would have preferred to play Alex, aka Base Lolly 2, because, well, I would have felt like I earned my top 8 more than I did now. But it is what it is, and I won. I go to top 8, obviously, my last round where I finished. I play him, game 1, I brick so hard. The reason I run 15 monsters because I don't want to draw many of them, and I drew 5 of them in a magic card. Round 2, game 2, I played pretty well. I opened up tons of traps, Stardust. That should just win me the game. I did, and return in game